Welcome to your intuitive advice reading. I'm going to get right into it. So let's go to the email. So I'm reading the first half to myself, and thank you a lot for the compliment. I'm not sure if you wanted this half in it, so I'm going to keep it out. But thank you. I really do appreciate it. All right. So, and I ramble too, so don't worry about that. I understand rambling, sometimes even better. Okay, so I have struggled in relationships. I take them seriously and put a lot of energy into them. I've only been in 3 relationships, 2 for 7 years and 1 for a year and a half, all long term, all led to engagements, and 2 became fathers to my children. I have 3 children. However, all ended up cheating on me and me chucking up the deuces. The last one being the absolute worst. I became suicidal. My self-esteem has gone down. Sometimes I wonder, is something wrong with me? Am I too controlling, too masculine, too boring? I don't know. I feel like I'm also dealing with severe abandonment issues. I'm just going over it again so I could really feel it. All right, so like just reading this, I feel like you put a lot of your self-worth into most likely the last person you was in a relationship with, and it left you depleted. So, cause there's never nothing wrong with nobody. So it's never anything wrong with you. I'm also feeling like you have some issues with setting healthy boundaries with people. Not so much of that. I'm actually getting that a lot of these relationships, like, they kind of ended before it actually ended. And yeah, I guess that comes with the boundaries, because what I'm feeling like, there have been times that you seen a lot of red flags that you ignored. All right, let me finish reading it. Okay. I notice a pattern though, which is beautiful, which is fucking beautiful, okay? Let me make sure I'm still recording, because I want to, that's a good start. That's a good start right there. I don't know if it's intuition or some sort of empathetic feeling, but there are times I get overwhelmed with the feeling that I'm being betrayed. It feels horrible. My heart races. I can't eat, sleep, or focus during the day. Find anything. Wait, hold on. I lost it. I focus during the day, which leads me to snoop. I guess that means snooze. Most times I don't really find anything, but no fail within the week. Something is revealed to me, whether small or big. My last relationship, it was huge. A child enforcement letter came in the mail. I opened it and boom, there was a child, almost one. He produced behind my back. Fast forward, the man I'm dating now, I got the same feeling a month ago. Okay, so I will ask about that. I felt the distance and the communication slowed down. Okay. See, yeah, you do be feeling it. You do be catching it. Okay. So what I'm going to say here, like, yeah, I do feel like you are very sensitive to energies, very empathetic, but the point that you said that you noticed the distance and the communication slowed down, that's the main that's the main thing right there. That's why you feeling that way, because he became distant and the communication slowed down. Okay, ask him about it. Ask him why it's like that. You know, open, like, have open communication. That's always best. Give them an opportunity to tell you the truth. Sometimes they won't, they will lie, and that's why divination is good. I'm still gonna do the divination, but but when you start seeing these red flags, you should nip it in the bud real quick. Just have that conversation with them. Even tell them what you need. Sometimes people need reassurance, and that's okay. And if the person really care about you, they will give that to you. It's not much to ask for. You really have to get in tune with yourself and find out, like, what you want out of these relationships. That's how, like, what makes you happy, how you want to be treated. You have to focus on that more. And if you're not getting that in a relationship, then it's not a good relationship. I mean, I do understand, like, the attachment and everything, but everything is a lesson and an experience. We just have to pay attention to that. We just have to find that point. And the point was that distance and lack of communication. So if he's mature enough, you should be able to go and talk to him. Maybe he haven't even realized, maybe he, like, stressed out about something or whatever, but at least you could talk to them and maybe they could correct that behavior. But you have to be sure of what you want from them as well. Okay, so I went on Facebook and found him flirting in the comments with a past fling, but in my ear talking about marriage. He has since apologized, but now the excuse is his finances. Nah, it's a no. It's a no. Red flags. Red flags. He's flirting in the comments with an ex. No. So he has apologized, okay, but has his actions improved? They gotta show you, not just tell you. If they just talking, you gotta get to a point that you don't want to hear all that talking no more. Show me. show me by your actions. Like, if he really wanted to marry you instead of talking about it, he would go ahead and propose. See, he's not following through and he doing fuck shit. And now he talking about his finances. So I guess my questions are, should I even pursue this relationship? It's been 6 months. No. It's gonna be a struggle. He already lying. I mean, he already 6 months. 6 months. And he flirting with his ex. It's a no. It's a no. Okay. Why do I struggle so much with discernment? Because you're not paying attention. You have to, like, I'm an emotional person too, and I know how it feels to be caught up in, like, emotions. But, like, go back and read what you said and find all the red flags. Like, he's showing you who he is. He's showing you his character. Okay? And he don't make you feel good. He doesn't make you feel good. So, based off of that alone is enough to be a no. Okay? He making way too many excuses. It's men out there who are serious, you know? Is there someone for me? Definitely. Or should I just learn how to be alone? No. You just have to change parts of your perspective of things. I'm gonna ask questions on what you're really looking for in these relationships. You way too attached to things outside of yourself, you know, because as soon as something starts to make you feel bad, you should let that go. Okay? It doesn't mean that, like, maybe they would get their stuff together and come back, but they have to show you by actions. That's how you set the boundaries. Like, nah, I don't want to hear you talking. Either you do it or get out my face. I don't got time. You know? I also asked about what's going on with this past fling or whatever, but he's so disrespectful. He in the comments flirting, knowing that you could see that. That's so disrespectful. Child. And then, what is your advice for overcoming my abandonment issues? That right there. You just have to, okay, remember the times that you didn't think you was going to get over it and you did. Okay, remember times that you were strong and you made the decision to walk away something toxic to you. Don't get so caught up in your fears of being alone. All that's going to do is push people away because you're going to be in a negative mindset and vibration. And that's going to push people away from you, and that's going to manifest you being alone. You have to also take time to heal, because I feel like you're still hurting about that last relationship. So if you don't heal from that first, your future relationship is going to be very codependent. You have to heal, and you have to find all the reasons why you love yourself, all the times that you were strong. Okay? So It's never hard to find a man. You get what I'm saying? You have options and choices. You just have to be willing to choose wisely. But the choice is always in your hand. Come on now. There is no shortage of men, okay? Alright, so let me get my cards together and let's get into this reading. Okay, so the first question I ask is, what is this guy's intentions? So I got the King of Wands reversed. People are tired of my egotistical nature. I'm finding it hard to be faithful and tell the truth. I do feel like he talked to other people. And he giving me, like, he's very, like, detached emotionally. With this card, I just don't feel the same. I'm detached from my emotions right now. Like, he just not somebody that can provide, like, emotional fulfillment. Because he on some fuck shit. That's some... And he's very selfish and egotistical. My temper is pushing people away, and my selfishness can make me unattractive. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. What's the worst that could happen? I feel like he don't really take a lot of people seriously. I do feel like he talked to other people and he just play games. I'm not gonna say that he's like a narcissist, because I don't feel like it's to that point yet, but he do have like a lot of narcissistic, damn, I can't talk today, y'all, sorry. He do have a lot of narc ways, and he know it about himself, and I don't feel like he planning on changing anytime soon. I feel like for a person like this, they need somebody that is not looking for the same type of commitment as you. I did get the Two of Cups here. Let me see, get some clarity on this. I do feel like he kind of weighing his options between you and somebody else. It could be this ex. I do kind of feel like there may be a third person, but I feel like he is choosing you, but I don't feel like he's going to stop messing with that person. He just kind of like choosing you to be the main person, but he's still going to be messing around. He really just liked the attention. And he's going to continue to be detached and cold. And yeah, I got the card, work consumes too much of my time. Like, these are excuses that he already planning, but Nah, he doing other stuff. So I feel like he probably is always gonna make excuses. I may not have all the answers. Have I led you astray? I feel like the longer the relationship go, the less you're gonna be able to depend on him to come through for simple things, cause he plan on juggling. Girl, I'm sorry. I know that's that hurt. I know it's that hurt, but you can do a lot better. Trust and believe. But you do have to get in touch with yourself. I'm gonna ask that next. Like, how can you heal and get in touch with yourself so you can attract the relationship that you want? Okay, so let me pull those and come back. Okay, so I remember you mentioning you asked me, are you too masculine or something on the level of that? So I did get the card, when I feel emasculated, I can become a tyrant. I feel like you're very prideful, and that it may be hard for you to communicate that with your partners in a way that is like upfront and trying to get to the point. I feel like you could let things linger for too long. Or you handle things in a I feel like I could feel it, but it reminds me of my husband, actually. That's what it feels like. Like, I feel like maybe you could be passive aggressive sometimes. So you're not just telling people like what you want. You want them to figure it out. And I think that can come off as aggressive, but that's not what it is. I just feel like there's something within your communication and how you communicate with men. I feel like confuse them sometimes, but it's nothing wrong with you. I feel like this is just a trigger that is within you, or an aspect of yourself that it would be beneficial to work on, because it will improve all your relationships, not just romantic relationships. So I don't believe that a woman can be too masculine. Like, I don't believe that. Usually men will say that in an attempt to control or even manipulate you. And I also know that for black women, because society already conditioned us as the angry black woman, so anytime we show any form of frustration, it looks extreme on us because people are programmed that way. It look aggressive on us because people are programmed that way. But that's due to their own ignorance. You just have to be yourself and don't worry about being too masculine or whatever. Just be your best self, and that's all you can do. Don't try to change yourself for somebody else. Don't do that to yourself. All it's going to do is lead to frustration and regret. So, but there are a lot of wounds that you need to heal. And I think they go back to like even your childhood. Like maybe your relationship with your father. And I feel like you need to take more time in your relationships to get to know a person. Go through like a trial phase with people, because you fall really hard, and that's a way to protect your heart. Take time to heal from this situation and heal in general. But that don't mean that you can't date or whatever, but don't get too serious too fast. And you feel like you can't do that because you know yourself better than anybody. So if you know that you fall in love quickly, then you have to set up boundaries for yourself so you don't hurt yourself. And pay attention to these red flags, because you noticed them, because you pointed them out. You pointed them out. So you noticed them. You just have to. And I feel like this is with all your relationships. It's like you're sensitive to energy, so you can instantly feel when something change. And a part of your personality is really prideful, so you just don't communicate and talk on it right away. Like it generates it. It's like the universe give you clues before the Tower moment. But you don't want to accept that you are getting these clues, so then the universe allowed the Tower moment to happen, and then you don't have proper coping mechanisms to deal with them, so they just sit in you as trauma. I feel like that you might work a lot too, and you really need to find a balance in that, or maybe even change what you do if it's too exhausting. But so I ask Spirit things that you should love about yourself, because I feel like that's the main message. You have to get back to loving yourself so you could attract the type of relationship that you want. So with this Queen of Cups here, I know my love is magnetic and abundant. I heal the hearts of others through my empathetic nature. You was just talking about that. So you have a huge heart. You are an empath. You're very empathetic, and if you're not careful, you can easily absorb other people's negative energy. You have to find a way to cleanse yourself. I kind of want to recommend ayahuasca for you, because I do feel like that could be healing, but I don't really like to recommend that because it is a psychedelic. Um, it's not a cheap experience, but personally, I have done it and it has been healing for me because it helped me to recognize when my soul is heavy and when it's light. Because after ayahuasca, I purged a lot. So when I left there, my soul was very light. And then when the world was starting to make it heavy again, it felt even heavier. So it made me have to do the work to keep my own soul clean. I kind of feel like you got used to your spirit being heavy. So you're not really recognizing when you're taking in negative energy. Like you have to set boundaries, not just in your romantic relationships, but also in your friendships and your relationship with your family. I feel like you have a very broad mind with this student card, and I feel like you absorb a lot of information and very open-minded, but sometimes like your emotions take over and it makes you so heavy that you could like throw logic out the window, and you got to find a way to not do that. What I recommend is journaling. If you don't like to write, which I don't either, like I do voice recordings as a journal, and then I go back and review it and learn things about myself. I kind of feel like you might already do that because I feel like you have a need to express yourself. Um, you might do that through communication with friends or something like that. But you need something that you could review. Like if you go back and you look at the message that you wrote me and try to do it at a time that your emotions are calm. Do not over criticize yourself. Do not talk down on yourself. Just read it over. If you have to, pretend that somebody else had wrote it. Look at it from a different standpoint because it would give you all your answers. It would. You could even go back in your text messages and try that, and then you will start to see. You have to be compassionate with yourself and understanding. So if you go review like your messages, don't be overcritical of yourself. Look at it and look at, okay, these are things that I can improve, because you can always improve, always. So if you go back and look at your communication with somebody, maybe you could start to see things that you need to work on within yourself. Or you could also start to see the breakdown of this relationship and why it broke down, which you already noticed because you wrote it. You wrote it. Um, you may work too much and you need to take some time to yourself and be okay with it. Um, I just keep feeling like you have to be easier on yourself. Like you have to be kinder to yourself, for real. And I also feel like you could be like a good counselor or something. Or you might even be that person in your family already with this priest card. Like your sensitivity, you could use that to your benefit. Um, you just have to know how to use it. You do have powerful intuition, and like I feel like you're very similar to me. Um, you could look into highly sensitive people. It's a term that they use, but they make it psychological or whatever. It's a part of psychology and shit like that. But it's their version of an empath. But they give you a different perspective of it, and they show you practical 3D ways to protect yourself and treat yourself. I think that would be very helpful for you. And find ways to calm your nerves. Um, movement, exercise, scratching, drinking plenty of water. You have to, if you're not communicating, you need to. You need to somebody that you trust, or like talk to a journal, talk to a recording app or something like that. But get those feelings out of you. You have to find a way to release, because I feel like you repress a lot, and it's just bubbling up inside of you, and it explodes sometimes. But it's almost like when it explodes, you try to put a cap back onto it and keep repressing it. Like you try to catch it, but it already did whatever damage or whatever. You have to find a healthy outlet, a healthy way to express that. And be very forgiving to yourself. I feel like there's some things that you need to forgive yourself on. And like spirits kind of like they're not really that bad, but it's just like how you perceive it. Some things, like you're very harsh on yourself. Some mistakes that you made, it's like you I don't really want to say a perfectionist. Nah, that's not it. But you are pretty hard on yourself, and you need to be. I feel like I'm repeating myself, okay? So I'm going to wrap up the reading right here. I hope you enjoy it, and stay blessed.